IVM.
Hello and welcome to episode 51 of Football Should Ball. And if you haven't heard episode 50 as yet, we're going to stop you right here. Get off this one and go check out that one first, because we, for our 50th, our Golden Jubilee episode, got Abhishek Bachchan in the house. And we're still recovering, no?
Yeah, we are recovering from you screaming that name again and again. Even when that episode started, you can hear Iyer go, woo! So I was like, wow, Iyer's excited. But you have to be excited. Of course, it was Abhishek Bachchan. But unfortunately, he's since been diagnosed with... diagnosed the right word?
Tested positive for
COVID-19. And we hope that he recovers really quickly. And we hope to see him on the football field incredibly fast as well.
I just have to say I'm very sure that Abhishek Bachchan will recover faster than Chelsea will.
Wow, all these shots are flying.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sheffield United you are. Sheffield United. This is episode 51. It has to be Shagun. है ना, मतलब कुछ पावन कुछ ऐसा अच्छा बोलना चाहिए तुम्हें. So why are you throwing mud?
That's also true.
But why Shagun? Oh, because that ₹1 you give.
Correct. So 51, 101.
If 50 and 1 comes to me, I'll give it back only 500 and 1 should come minimum. Like in that envelope.
You also want to decide what comes.
Yeah.
So see-through envelopes it should be, otherwise you leave.
No. You receive what you give. So if you get 51, you have to understand what you're given.
Slow clap for that. Very nice.
Okay, so as you can hear, Sapre is on form today. We're going to cover La Liga, Real Madrid winning the title, and which is why we have also named this episode Little Zizou. I don't know why, but apparently in that movie, this guy was a big Zidane fan, and then Kanakia went and brought him to Mumbai, and the movie's dreams came true. So that's why. And Zidane is, of course, now arguably the most successful manager there's ever lived. Alex Ferguson.
19 games per trophy. What the hell is that number?
Okay, so we're going to discuss Zidane. We're going to discuss the race for the Champions League places in the Premier League. We're going to figure out what the hell Juventus are up to with all these absolutely entertaining games that they're playing, to be fair.
And your cat.
And yeah, that's my cat. You can't see it. This is a podcast, but yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately we can.
Okay, so we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Hey everybody, welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you haven't been following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money and Intel. Their support is much appreciated. Before I tell you about some of the shows that we have for you this week, I really wanted to kind of really point out the incredible efforts of our host and our team. We've been able to maintain most of our production schedule in this lockdown, which is going into 4 months now. And I couldn't be happier with the fact that our hosts and team have been able to kind of just get all of this stuff out so incredibly well. So I just really, really wanted to kind of call them out for that and thank them for their support in this time. And since I spent so much time talking about that, and I want to get you out of here quickly, let me give you a quick update on a few shows that you should check out this week. On Sliders, we had Amish Tripathi, really interesting discussion, both of them dive deep into history. Monty Panesar was on Edges and Sledges, another really cool show. On Advertising is Dead, Tanmay Bhatt showed up. That was a cool episode. Malini Agarwal, also probably better known as Miss Malini, showed up on Absolutely Right. It's just been an absolutely gangbusters week in terms of like the kind of guests we've had and the conversations we've had on the network. Please do check some stuff out. And with that, let's get you back to your show.
So welcome back to Football Should Ball, episode 51, Little Zizou, but there was nothing little about what happened during the course of the week, which was Real Madrid winning their 34th
Can I just say they're the cat's whiskers? I think they're the cat's whiskers. So, which is also our video screen because we can see your cat's whiskers.
He's trying to go somewhere, man. I'm not able to.
Oh, Bale.
That reminds me of
Name your cat Bale. Never said where he's supposed to.
Golf will have to go, but
this is what is it? 34 league titles.
34 La Ligas, yeah.
Yeah. Just to put this in context, I have to look for the stats so you all can talk in the middle during that period. But there's some crazy context that I'm going to put in. So until then, say something.
That cat is massively distracting for some reason.
Was that her butt?
Yeah, that was the behind of. Obviously, it wasn't towards me, so I just realized what you all saw.
Hey, little Zizou, get out of the way.
Okay, now my cat is comfortably nestled in between the grill and the window, so I think we're fine for the rest of this recording. So I haven't found any stats, but what do you say, Shivram? He's won every title every 19 games.
A trophy.
A
trophy.
trophy every 19 games, yeah. And if you remember, he won the Champions League how many times, Karthik, back to back?
3 in a row.
Yeah, three. Respect. Who else
Yeah.
was
And then he's won 11 titles with Real Madrid. So that's probably where your division came from. Good job.
Yeah.
Which makes him the second most successful Real Madrid manager ever, and he's been in charge for 3.5 years. If you put his two stints together, like that's someone shared a stat with me yesterday. This guy has won more titles than Mourinho, Guardiola, every other manager over the last few years. And he's missed an entire season of football in the middle.
That is amazing. And if you remember, him and Sergio Ramos actually played together. They were on the field together very, very recently, I think 10 years ago. But still, they were on the field together. And it was come so far so quickly.
It was a lot longer than 10 years ago. Shivram, time flies. That was 2006.
Oh, shit. 2000. Yeah, I mean, somewhere in that.
Yeah, that was...
Give or take a year. No, but I think, is he the only manager, and this is the criticism, levied on Zidane, that of all the managers that he's counted, the greats who won everything, Zidane probably is the only one who's not a tactician. Like, you don't, like a Guardiola, you would talk about his team play and strategy, and Mourinho at some point, and of course on a John Dyke show, what he said about the style of play that Mourinho had when he came into England, of course. And I don't know if you can count Allegri in top managers. All of them had a strategy, a way of playing. I don't think Zidane has any, or maybe that's a criticism that's given to him. But in spite of a lack of strategy and a lack of Ronaldo, he did what he had to, yeah. Won that fantastic trophy and goal difference. Who cares about goal difference anymore? Barcelona couldn't win that game at home.
Correct, exactly. And now it's not even important because they're 7 points clear with 2 games to go, or 1 game to go, sorry.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll be 10 points clear by the end of the season.
At the rate that Barcelona is going.
So they're only taking shots at Barcelona. It's not enough that Messi went and took shots anyway at his own club. But going back to Madrid, did you guys see the title celebrations? Have you ever been at this party where you're not invited, like maybe your spouse's office parties or something like that, and you're standing on the side and they come and make you pose in every photo? It's exactly like what Bale had to go through. Like, they're all posing for the photo and then they call him at the last minute, say, come on the side right there.
He didn't get his banner, the order of priorities.
No. So he was sure that he doesn't want to party or just be part of that gang. And so Hazard was supposed to be with him, but then he saw some cake. And so Hazard left him on the side and he just...
Everything is cake. Bale is also cake.
Yeah, but that was, I don't know, that was weird. But at least he smiled, he clapped. I mean, at that point, he's won, I don't know what, his second La Liga. He's won 3 champions. Yeah, I mean, he's getting the medal, so I guess it's fine. You saw what he was doing on the bench, no?
Yeah, he was making faces, he was sleeping. He was using his mask inappropriately, please don't do that. My question to you is it okay, like, would you be okay at whatever point if you would, switch places with Bale? Would you be okay just, getting medals? Because पैसा मिल रहा है, medal मिल रहा है, लेकिन खेलने नहीं मिल रहा है. Would you be okay with that?
You're saying he's not getting creative satisfaction?
Yes, that is what I mean. Like, he's not performing at possibly he's at the sunset of his career.
But you're assuming that his creative wants and needs are based on him playing football. He's sitting on the bench using a face mask as a sleeping mask. He's making something out of some paper and then making it look like a telescope. That's creative. I mean, he's probably going to the arts and crafts field. He would go into that field richer than any theatre actor that there's ever been. So
good. Now that we've addressed that, now that we've addressed theatre as a function.
So from what I've been reading, he initially, remember last time he was told to go to China, etc. And then Real Madrid pissed him off by, I think, asking for a fee. And now he's like, you pay me for the rest of the 3 years of my contract. I am staying here until 2022.
Madrid का Ozil है ये. जाता ही नहीं है. कुछ भी करो नहीं जाता.
Madrid का Ozil तो आसने लगा ना.
No, but you see the similarities between them, right? Both sit on the bench, one with an umbrella, one with a telescope made out of paper. So
sorry. Bale sits on the bench. Ozil doesn't.
But you remember that umbrella, the first match, I think, where he was...
Yeah, Lacazette and him and Aubameyang, everyone sitting under the umbrella. We are very comfortable where we are in 9th position, guys. Please don't. That is the bench for us.
Yeah. Let's not. What is it? What's the word you use for it? Hitting low, counting low. No. What's that? Yeah.
Lowering the bar. I don't know.
No. You shoot low.
Shoot. Sandbagging.
No, I think we're completely off the mark here. But anyway, congratulations, Real Madrid. I think Shivram's extremely happy that
Yes.
you have won, what is it, number 34. They have more La Liga titles than Barcelona. They have 13 Champions Leagues to Barcelona's 5. I think Barcelona have 26 La Liga titles. Barcelona do have more Copa del Rey's though, so that's important to you. Well done, Barca.
It's like Arsenal talking about winning the FA Cup many times. Like, let's be honest. Copa del Rey किसने देखा है आज तक? It doesn't exist. It's like the Serie A. Nothing is happening there. Some Sassuolo Cup is not there. Relax.
Okay, but sticking with Barcelona, there was someone who was extremely angry after the match. He said that after Roma 2 years ago, after Liverpool last year, we still haven't learned where this club is going nowhere. Blah, 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 blah. He said we can't even beat Napoli despite having a 1-0 lead from the first leg for their Champions League places.
When did Karan Bhai Company say all this?
But did you notice when we were watching the game, Sapre, how our dear friend Karan, who supports Barcelona, disappeared after Benzema scored that opening goal?
Yeah,
From all the WhatsApp chats, he just suddenly there was a radio silence.
I think he
from
slept.
his
I think he slept. He made the right decision.
He cried in the first half, slept in the second half.
Yeah, that is life.
But do you think, Sapre, that so Barcelona have angered Messi now? Now, what if he single-handedly decides, this shit, I'm going to go and I'm going to win the Champions League on my own, and then he moves to Juventus and he and Ronaldo play together?
Yeah, I wish that happens, but he pussyfoots around that decision. He'll never leave Barcelona. He doesn't have the balls that Ronaldo does. I don't think he's going to go to Juventus. Why are you guys laughing?
No, I mean, you're using very apt.
Exactly.
It's still better than me shooting up, pushing down, whatever I tried to say at that point of time.
Yeah, God knows.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be on a podcast in the first place if you can't do your words.
But I hope, I don't know if it is possible because of all the people in the world, only you watch Serie A and follow Serie A, Shiva. Not Shiva, sorry, Karthik. Can Milan finish in the Champions League spot?
No,
So
yeah,
that happens, no?
there's no way.
Would have been lovely to see Messi going to Milan. है ना, मतलब टैक्स भी बचेगा, शहर भी अच्छा है,
Retirement home है Milan.
retirement home है. Like,
Ask him to come to Chelsea. Arsenal will take him 2 years later.
yeah, Chelsea has a lot of money with Hazard, 20 odd million now they'll earn. With
Yeah.
Madrid finishing in Champions League places and now winning the La Liga title. I'm sure some 20-25 million is coming.
Abramovich also got London ka passport or whatever work permit.
Oh, he gets to go back now?
Yeah, I think he does. He already started this year.
Oh, okay. So not now, obviously, but yeah, whenever.
But which is why they had suddenly they bought Timo Werner and suddenly they had Ziyech and all.
Yeah, I was also they also had this. They were banned, right, for I think a couple of years
I mean, depends, which court you go to. If you go to the City court, it's a different thing. If you go to the Chelsea court, it's a different thing.
Fair enough.
तुम्हारे lawyer की गलती है भैया.
Okay, so about that, if any of y'all didn't get the reference, y'all have been living under a rock, or y'all are smart and just focus on the football rather than these backroom politics, which is that's Manchester City's UEFA Champions League ban, which was for 2 years, which involved a debate between Sapre and I. Sapre said they will get banned the year after next. I said they will get banned this year and they will be free the year after next. Both of us went kaput because they have not been banned at all.
Some 10 million piddly fine they have to pay.
1 week of wages of Raheem Sterling. Simple, straightforward.
That's so silly. Pep Guardiola said I'm zero without my players. All the players said I'm zero without the manager. And they play for one cup. So there are too many zeros behind one. A number one, right? So that's the amount of money City have. Why do they care about some 10 million fine?
Nice. I like how you tried to arrive at that. Lots of zeros behind one. Very nice.
It took me 3 days. I wanted to tweet about it, but I couldn't articulate anything. I said, wait for
You still haven't, but keep trying.
Editor will take care of it.
So we don't have any strong opinions on this ban being lifted.
I positively believe that Chelsea have now been robbed of a position because Leicester will get robbed of this position because Chelsea are now third, right? And United and Leicester are tied for points. I think United will beat Leicester come final game day and United will take the spot.
You're so hopeful. I'm happy. I'm happy.
I'm not hopeful. I've been watching both of them play, and United have beaten all 4 or all 5 of the bottom 5 teams they've played till now.
Yeah, no, it's just the fixtures that are slightly tricky. Chelsea play Liverpool, and I think they play Wolves on the last day, and Leicester are playing the Mourinho's Tottenham. Let's call it Mourinho's Tottenham.
Yeah, it's like Batman, no? What is it? That there's a different Batman. Like it's Tim Burton's. When they attach a name because it's a shitty movie. Like it's a cool director and all that. Anyways, yeah, I also can't find my words.
Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin.
Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin. Yeah. Where Arnold Schwarzenegger played Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze, yeah.
Played is too kind of word, but yeah, he was cast as Mr. Freeze. He was there.
He appeared as,
yeah.
Yeah, but that was where Clooney had the nipples. The batsuit had
exactly.
Nipples, yeah.
Very, very specific batsuit.
Yeah. Nice. What TV do you have, Karthik?
No, that is true. That is actually a trivia.
That's actually it's a very famous. You should watch the movie if you haven't. But it's
of course, with such details.
But now
that
you can't. Even though it has Uma Thurman, I don't think you'll be looking at her much because what Karthik has pointed out.
Exactly. No man. But spoiler alert: there is that one scene in that movie where Uma Thurman, I think, kisses Chris O'Donnell's Robin, and when Poison Ivy.
What do you mean by his Robin?
Batman and Robin.
This has nothing to do with Little Zizou. Relax.
Shameful. And if Poison Ivy comes in contact with someone, they get poisoned, and she goes to kiss Robin, and she kisses him. I'm like, Robin's now. And then he has a chewing gum type layer on his lips, which he removes. That my childhood was made there,
Center Fresh had a new meaning.
How did this?
No, Mourinho's
okay. So he was saying. So going back to that, I wanted to talk about these Champions League places. When the next episode all our listeners listen to will be after the entire season gets done. So let's make some predictions. Because United and Leicester play each other at the end, are we assuming Chelsea will be fine to get through despite matches against Liverpool and Wolves?
Sapre, you go first while I look at the table.
No, it's very tricky. So Liverpool have just lost their previous game, and now they're playing Chelsea next. Chelsea also have an FA Cup fixture before that, which they will lose. So there are 2 teams who are coming and playing each other who lost their previous matches. And Liverpool, I hope, should come out on top of that one. If Chelsea even manage to draw, then Chelsea have confirmed a spot in the Champions League. Leicester United, I don't see Leicester losing that match. I don't know.
Should we assume that?
How did you arrive at that?
At what?
Because Chelsea are at 63 points from 36 games. Leicester and United are at 62 each from 36 games.
Correct.
And both of them have better goal difference than Chelsea.
No, not technically. I agree.
But they're going to play each other in the last game week. So does that give Chelsea the advantage of if they just beat Wolves, right? One of United or Leicester or both will drop points.
Yeah, see, also with Wolves, they've more or less now cemented that Europa place for themselves. So that motivation is also going to be slightly lower than what they have right now. Yeah. It is difficult to see Leicester losing to United on the last day.
Okay, Sapre, so pick 2 teams.
Chelsea and Leicester.
Oh wow, he's going. Oh, this is a reverse type psychology.
No, because I heard Kai Havertz is okay to play in a club which is not qualified for the Champions League.
Yeah, but then Raphael Honigstein, who was quoted saying that tweet, said that I never said anything of that sort.
Why are you bringing facts into all of this?
It happened. But I wanted originally United to go through. I don't know for what reason. But I think you're right. Leicester do deserve to go in for whatever form they've shown in the first half of the season. They've now since tapered off. They have won a couple after they started the restart not very well. But I think Leicester then deserve to go through for a Champions League. Come on, give them another shot.
No, but what will happen, whether they deserve to or not, is separate from what Martial has planned for them.
Chelsea and Leicester.
Chelsea and you're both going against the grain. Just because one United draw with Southampton, you're suddenly now.
So we're both going against the grain because they've not beaten teams of caliber at all. And the first team they met of caliber was Southampton and they drew. So it's not that much of a question actually. They should just give up and let Leicester actually have their way.
But what if United win the Europa League?
Ooh, next level. Are United still in the Europa League?
Yeah.
I stopped watching when Arsenal got
And they have so fixed that draw. They have all the unknown teams on their half of the quarterfinal draw, man. It's amazing.
The last team they beat was Lask, which is the
5-0.
surgery you get for your eye. if you can't see.
5 minutes. Igalo scored twice, dude.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Where is Igalo since?
On the bench, looking at, admiring Bale's postures.
Arey, what did your boy wonder do yesterday? Greenwood?
What did he do? Nothing he did.
Exactly. That's what I was getting to. Anyway.
9 goals he scored. Yeah, one more goal. That's another striker who scored 10 goals for United this season. And Bruno's on 7. All needs 3 more goals and 4 people who scored more than 10 goals in a season.
So City, who already have 5 people who've scored
From United. They're from United.
and comparing it to another team.
Have you seen the difference in points?
चलो मैं तो आर्सेनल सपोर्टर हूँ मेरे से 10 गोल की बात मत करो.
Okay, so then a word on Arsenal. Would it be better if they just finish outside the Europa League? Just next season, focus on that one league, see what Arteta can achieve.
No, see, Karthik, I've had this spiel in the past. Thank God we got knocked out of the Champions League. Now we can focus on the league. And then I switched to thank God we're not in the race, so we can focus on the FA Cup. Thank God the FA Cup is done now. Carling Cup we can at least win. Arey shit! It's the Emirates Cup again. We are winning. So it is a yearly phenomenon. It comes back like El Nino. कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. At least Europa Cup होगा. थोड़ा पैसा आएगा. अगला installment देना है पेपे का. So at least we won't have to sell 3 kids. जैसा Reiss Nelson has just scored 2 against Liverpool. We'll have to sell him for some 5 million to Liverpool, and then Liverpool 5 years later he'll come back to the ground. We'll have to give him guard of honor.
Yeah, if nothing else, let's at least celebrate the fact that Arsenal managed to beat Liverpool and have stopped them from getting to 100 points.
Correct, exactly. Just let's celebrate what we get. 2-1. Reiss Nelson, very nice. You are the real Reiss. Baniye ka dimag, Mia bhai ki daring, very well done.
Okay, I don't know how to move on. So
you're predicting United to finish in the top 4, is it?
Yeah. I would think I don't think Leicester are very good. And I get the point about caliber, that the caliber of teams that United have faced, but it's not like they have to do much more. It's just 2 more games and they're on form. So I think we are recording this the day after Leicester beat Sheffield, so that's good for them. Obviously, the listeners we're going to be skipping the FA Cup until the final. But irrespective of what happens in those games, I think United will have just enough for Leicester. Okay, so we're about halfway through the podcast, guys. Do you want to do FPL now, or shall we take a break and come back?
Let's take a break and come back.
Let's take a break and come back. Okay, see you on the other side.
How many times have you motivated yourself to improve your sleep, or lose weight, or be more productive? How many times have you failed? Hi, my name is Ashton Doctor. Tune into my show, The Habit Coach Podcast, where we focus on creating small, tiny habits to improve your life instead of those big, impossible tasks. So make listening to me a habit every Monday, Wednesday and Friday on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com or on your favorite podcasting app.
So as you know, I have pretty much given up on Fantasy Premier League. But the two of y'all came back after the restart with grand promises of one Shivram a top 10 finish. So it started with the top 10. It became a top 50. It's now 75 to 100. So where are you guys at?
Let me start first because I get to go first because I'm higher up in the table.
You start and then this topic can end also.
I have now entered the top 30. I am, I think, 30 points behind the top 20. So I have my biggest tip for this week is to captain Wood against Norwich. And that is the only thing I'm going to give away. I'm not going to share any of the other tips because I don't have any. I'm going to stick to the rest of the team because I think City will pummel whichever team they're playing. Sterling will start. Jesus is a bolted-on striker. So if you're scared of Pep Roulette, I think Jesus is your best bet. Or Jesus, or whatever you want to call him. He's still getting that 1 goal every other game. And don't take Tottenham players is my other. I think Mourinho also shouldn't take Tottenham players for that matter. But let's close this up on a light note. Where are you in the table?
I'm 40 places ahead of Karthik.
Oh, that not bad. But you're in the hundreds.
Yes.
Oh my God, how terrible are you?
I am. See, if FPL managers were to be compared to Premier League managers, and I'm the Roy Hodgson, not because of the age factor, but just kuch bhi, whatever I do, I will end up with like a losing team at the end of the day. I had Holgate got injured. I had Soyuncu got a red card for a -3. He got me. And then I had Son, I got rid of him, and then I got Willian, who's not doing anything for the past 2 games, and Son is doing far better. So, so I'm now competing with Karthik.
Are you saying your choices in life are not right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm saying I have realized that now.
Acha, okay. They were always not good.
Yes.
You've just arrived at the fact.
I've realized, and by the end of the season, I'll also accept it.
Yeah, so you had to start a podcast, do 50 episodes.
Correct.
And on the 51st, Shagun ke din tumne maan li ye baat.
I wouldn't really blame you. I mean, nothing can match up to Abhishek Bachchan. So we've reached that high. And Shivram, like you said, there's only one way from when you reach the top of the mountain. It's
the way down. So, I mean, like George Costanza has famously said, leave the room on a high.
Yeah.
Don't stay for longer. So, I think let's just announce again, this is the last episode. No. I'm kidding. There's a lot more to go. We have.
Yep. And we do have a few surprises as well lined up. So
we're dropping separate.
No. The surprise is what I said on the group. We'll reach 100 before Liverpool does.
Oh, boom! Arsenal fans, are you listening? ये दिल तक आवाज पहुंचे तो तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट से बताइएगा.
अरे, but let's talk about Serie A. Messi should join Atlanta. Yeah, all the other teams.
So now you're just talking basically.
Yes. No, I just read a stat where half the goals half the goals that Barcelona have scored and Messi's been a part of it. So Atlanta have scored 93 goals now, Karthik?
Something like that, yeah.
93 goals without Messi
in the last 6-7 games, I'm guessing.
And Messi is not even around Italy. Forget around their stadium. So he should just join Atlanta. Good for them.
Juventus wants to. I think Messi will be a good fit because he wants to go to a good team and make them worse. So Atlanta is a good team to break down. Barcelona का तो काम हो गया.
Poor guy, but he's going to prove all of us wrong with some Champions League nakhra he's going to do now. But yeah, I don't think he'll leave. I don't know. It's just so strange, you know.
अरे बस ना, मतलब अभी कितना रुकने का, बस ना. Just find another spot ना. You're not even from Spain. Go to River Plate or whatever. What are the other teams? Nacional. Some rivalry is there. What is Riquelme doing other than taking care of his grandmother?
Yeah, Riquelme and all. You can't say their names in the same.
Hey, Riquelme at least
sentence.
Was in the semi-finals of that year. Where is Messi this year?
Yeah, that's true. That's the only quarterfinals. That's not even that. In fact, who knows? Napoli could come in.
Yeah. He's already said he said Roma and Napoli. He knows what's going to happen.
Full model college team that is, huh? Doesn't trust anybody in that team.
Ratan and Sanju.
Yeah. No, but what we've seen also over the past, 3-4 game weeks has been Juventus become a bit bad after their initial really good start.
They've relaxed.
And they're giving us some entertaining games. I mean, I'll give you that. They have relaxed. They're not an excellent side. They have Sarri as a manager. They're playing an AC Milan side who are good. They played Atlanta. Atlanta should have won it. And Sassuolo though are a side like on the up. They're 8th. They have nothing to play for. But yeah, fair play. Juventus will still probably win the league. So there's not really much to touch upon there. Unless, in fact, on the day you all are listening to this podcast, Juventus play Lazio. Which, if they do end up dropping points, it could give an opportunity for Inter.
It's a 6-pointer, no?
I mean, Juve would still, but the thing about Serie A, they still have 5 games to go. It's been going on and on and on. So, but there's still 15 points to play for each team. And Inter are 6 behind. So that game against Lazio is pretty crucial. Anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that with Juventus. What else do we need to talk about? I
want to make a quick prediction that Real Madrid will win the title next season as well. Ask me why.
Okay. Why?
Because players are getting a very short break, so no one's going to come back overweight.
Oh, deep. When is the new season starting, by the way?
They're thinking September for Spain, so I think it'll be across the board, different places, because France will start much earlier, immediately after the Champions League ends, because they're already in pre-season.
6-month break they've taken.
They decided that time only let the season be. PSG are anyway winning. What is the point?
Yeah, why you want to play and all?
There is an interesting thing about France. Okay, there's some major controversy there, and if we were French and we were living there, we would have known about it. So when the season stopped, Marseille was second in second place. Lyon and all were trying to catch up. Like Lyon and all are big sides, who have been in Champions League throughout. So only 2 sides go into direct qualifications from France. PSG were going to win the title. Marseille were in second place. The president of France, Emmanuel Macron, supports Marseille, who are in second place. So apparently he took the decision, him and his government, to end the league because Marseille were in second place. That's not all. Macron has, I think, his local club or has a stake in a club in the second division who are in the promotion places. He stopped that league also, so that club has been promoted. It's become a massive controversy with the president.
What is this? BCCI?
Yeah. Also, President Macron.
Macron is what you eat.
Yeah. Marco is Chamatkar.
Yeah.
Macaroons. Oh, okay.
But
Nice.
I like how he said, if you were in France and French. Basically, if you were in France and some other nationality, you would have no idea.
Yeah, I'm assuming if you didn't know how to read French, you wouldn't be able to read the newspapers and then you would be like clueless.
They don't translate French into any other language.
No, they do, but now those apps have been banned, so.
Oh, deep.
So that's, I don't know what else. Just some very good news for if anyone is still listening 35 minutes into the episode. The I-League and the Indian Super League, there is a proposal to bring it back in November behind closed doors in one city. The ISL in Goa, the I-League in Kolkata, if that interests you. That's about it. I don't know.
The audience watching it will suffer. I mean, the numbers will suffer,
right? You're playing in Calcutta, you want 100,000 in the Salt Lake, right?
Correct, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Salt Lake Stadium, yeah.
Okay, so as this episode limps to a close, I will leave with Shivram and Sapre saying one last thing, if they have anything to say.
I do. Do you have any other names like Sassuolo that we can make up and pretend like their teams? I really like the ring of it, Sassuolo.
Who did Inter beat Spal?
Inter beat Spal yesterday.
And that is also a made up name.
Yeah.
But
Spal is funny if you think about it.
See, Shiva, if you're not in Italy and if you're not an Italian, you would not know what this is all about.
Correct. That's true. Sassuolo probably means something.
Lovely. So I would like, as parting lines, I would like to thank our guest, the cat, who ruined this podcast for us twice.
What's his name, Karthik?
One is Gollum, the other is Trezor. Both came onto the screen.
French?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Shameful, guys. Shameful.
Yeah. I also have some good news to share before we go. Yesterday when I was playing FIFA and I was playing with Fulham, I promoted them through the playoffs. So it could be a sign of things to come in real life.
So basically they were second with 15 games to go and you shut down your system and promotion.
Okay.
The president of your house.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you next week.
So if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media handles. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I'm Fickleberry Hun on Twitter and Instagram. That's Huckleberry Finn, but Fickle.
If you want to reach out to me, I am Sapre on Twitter and Sapre on Instagram.
You can reach out to me at iRant, which is IYERANT on Twitter and Instagram. This is Football Should Ball. Recognize.
Are you looking for India's most awesome cricket podcast? Are you now tired of listening to the same old guys drone on about cricket everywhere? Edges and Sledges is a weekly cricket podcast hosted by 3 fans of the game, Varun, DJ, and myself, Ashwin. It was established in early 2018, has over 60 episodes now, and is of course now proud to be on the IVM Podcast Network. Each week, we get together from 3 different time zones, the USA, the UK, and Singapore, and we talk about things from the world of cricket, with a focus on Indian cricket. We often interview special guests from all around the world, including former cricketers and cricket media personalities. So check out Edges and Sledges, the cricket podcast, now on the IVM network.
Advertising is dead. Yep, you heard me right. Advertising is dead. We're all in the content business now. Let's not call it news, TV, radio, etc., etc. It's all content, and we're in the middle of this weirdly exciting phase where all the borders and lines that have been drawn over decades has been swept away by this lovely thing called the internet. We're a show where we don't dwell on just the stuff that is now, but rather the wider stuff about advertising, media, content, and the whole goddamn circus surrounding it. Tune in every Tuesday for our weekly unboxing of the mystery box we used to call advertising. I'm Varun Dugirala, co-founder and content chief at The Glitch, and this is my new podcast, Advertising is Dead.